Harvard undergrad, then University of Pennsylvania Medical School, and Wharton Business School. And eventually, I finished all my training, returned to Syracuse, purchased a city block, and opened my practice in the middle of the ghetto where I grew up. And as I was practicing medicine, I noticed that the stuff they taught me in medical school was just plain not working. Well, the medical community is really run in a very rigid way, and doctors are not running the show. Doctors are given orders as to what they can and cannot do, and if they do not stick to that, then they are very harshly punished. And now they've fixed it, so most doctors are several $100,000 in debt. So that's basically the reason why. Now, one question you asked is, how did I decide to go holistic? What happened? So first I noticed that my patients were not getting better. But then, just as a matter of course, at the end of every year, I would do an audit and say, okay, who died? How many deaths were there? And was there anything I could have done better to avoid these outcomes? And so when I did that, I noticed the first year I did that, I guess that was first year in practice, the second year, there were 4 deaths. Each and every person who died was on medications, fully diagnosed, and totally adherent to their regimen. They never missed an appointment, they never missed a refill, they followed orders precisely, and I even sent them to the specialist to make sure that their regimen was accurate and optimal. And the people who skipped their appointments, didn't have to take their drugs, none of them died. Could it be that these drugs they were on were the cause of their death? And so then I started giving people a choice between drugs, no drugs, changing your diet, drinking more water, or just doing nothing. And when I gave people that choice, the death rate in the practice went to zero. A real crisis, which was, oh my God, could it be that my medical education was designed to kill people? And then what people don't know is if a doctor collects $1, he is supposed to generate at least $4 of hospitalization, medical testing, drug prescribing. That's the doctor's true job. And they have ratios in the industry. So the doctor is not supposed to collect more than 20% of the total healthcare dollar. So then, what they did is they tracked doctors according to how many hospitalizations they have a year, the dollar value of those hospitalizations, how many drugs are filled by his patients that he writes, the dollar value of those prescriptions. All that is tracked. And when those numbers fall, and that ratio does not hold, then the doctor's in trouble.
I was going to say, basically, all of this is just about money. Money is the bottom line in the medical industry?
Totally. We'll just say that the patient's health is not a priority at all. Not at all. So your doctor is worried about paying off his educational loans. He's worried about paying his overhead. He's worried about keeping his license. Those 3 things come quite a bit before your trivial health concerns. And so what ultimately happened was I was investigated for the case of a young diabetic who showed up in my office with a blood sugar of 470 something, and I reduced his blood sugar to 135 in 1 week without drugs. So the licensing board said that was a case of the inappropriate practice of medicine. And she's already had. The other thing about vaccines is vaccines are supposed to confer immunity. There is no such thing as immunity, so you can just stop right there. But since there is no such thing as immunity, then immunizations can't give you immunity. In other words, there is zero benefit to getting any vaccine. Yeah, right. So your immune system can fight off a disease, but at whatever point your immune system becomes weak through malnutrition, not enough sleep, alcohol, whatever, dehydration, you will be susceptible to any and all illnesses, even ones you've been exposed to before. So there is no such thing as immunity from a disease just because you had it at a prior point in time.
That's the sad part of it. They don't even question the doctor. They don't say, what is this? Or you know, if they give you a prescription, go online and look it up and see the side effects. Because many times doctors are not going to tell you the side effects.
Not going to help. So they've got online totally taken care of. So you Google your drug and then you say patient information. And that patient information has been totally sanitized and the worst side effects have been removed. So if you want to do that, and I don't even recommend doing that, but if you want to do that, you enter your drug and after it put a space and then package insert. So package insert is what the FDA has approved as information for the doctors to receive. And that includes things like the death rate, and all the gruesome side effects. And it even has a list of the inactive ingredients in your pill, such as the dye, the gelatin, the excipients, the binders, and all the other trash and junk that's in your pill. It's listed in this package insert. So that's the way you have to Google your medicines. Most people just Google the medicine and then side effects. And you're not going to get even half the side effects doing it that way. Or go to WebMD, same thing. Half the side effects are not even mentioned. I would say 75% are not even mentioned.
So a prostate problem is when you have a weak urinary stream. A prostate problem is when you have pain when you sit down, because you actually sit on your prostate gland. A prostate problem is when you have to get up frequently at night to urinate, and you can only urinate like small amounts. So those are symptoms or signs of prostate problems. So let's just suppose that you have a prostate problem. What can you do about it? The question is, of course, what caused it. If you undo what causes it, then that goes a long way towards reversing it. So a prostate problem is basically caused by dairy products. That's the number one cause of prostate problems. And so simply, the guy just has to get rid of his dairy products. The second cause of a prostate problem is processed foods. That would be foods that are packaged or somehow prepared or cooked before you eat them. And the third cause of prostate problems is herbicides and pesticides, basically non-organic foods. So for guys to get rid of prostate problems is actually very, very simple. One, increase their water intake and definitely drink distilled or reverse osmosis water. Two, go vegan, stop the meats, stop the dairy, eat lots of vegetables, and 100% organic. And do not eat that organic processed food. So no fake cheese, no almond milk, none of that stuff. So all the processed organic foods are just as bad for you as the processed non-organic foods. Now, what guys will find if they do that is usually their prostate problems clear up very nicely in 7 to 14 days.